Hello everybody, this is Trollforce here in an explain video. This is going to be a big one. We're going to cover all that you need to know about the Chancel, the cells, and the Chancel Redux. Now let's get into this video. After you enter the chancel and open the door, you can see that 1. The door to your left leads to the cistern entrance, and 2. A grunt spawns on one of the bridges. Looking around, you can tell that the inner sanctum is dead ahead. If you die here in the chancel on your first visit, you will spawn here at this bloody altar in this large sacrificial chamber. This can mean that Daniel has performed warding rituals here as well. When you get out of the room, there are stone tablets and other Egyptian, Algerian, Prussian, and Mithraic artifacts all over the place. If you want to come here first, it is very important that you come here before the shower takes its place later on, because the bridge to the room will collapse and will become inaccessible. The architectural design of the chancel looks very ancient. If you go under the bridge center, you can see a sun symbol, meaning that this structure is Mithraic and is indeed an ancient and hallowed ground. This may have been here before Alexander discovered it, or it may have modified this place for his bidding. This diary page explains how Daniel is disgusted by the so-called degenerates and monsters, and how he will perfect his future tortures.
And we have to do what is needed. I spend my time helping out the prisoners. Being around these degenerates makes me ill. None of them even tries to face their punishment with any kind of dignity. They taunt me with their lies of innocence and their cowardly pleas of mercy. What can make a man fall so far from the grace of a civilized existence? They are all wicked men, and I remind myself of it constantly. Still, I am thankful for God sending these monsters our way, as they will serve as the instruments of my salvation. I try to study the different tools in the torture chamber and learn how to use them effectively. Last time was messy, and the effect suffered from my inexperience. When the next warding is to be performed, I shall be ready.
Pay attention here. This gate leads to the machine room that powers the spinning gates to the inner sanctum. We'll be back here later on. You see that many times there are somewhat supernatural wind gusts all over the area. This may be the fact that the chancel bridges go over the abyss. You can see that this gate is preventing you from entering the inner sanctum, and that there is proof of Alexander's tamed lightning running through the machine as he figured out how to channel it, as he did in his world. The orb pedestal here can hold in the subtle orb that can later consume the lightning and be destroyed. If you remain in the area, Alexander will yell at you for betraying him and holding you responsible for everything that's happened.
Is this guilt I'm witnessing, Daniel? If so, blame yourself. You started this. You sent me that letter asking for help, and this is how you repay me? How dare you!
During this flashback about Daniel's perspective of the chancel, the phrase descending into the underworld spooks Alexander, as which makes him suspicious of Daniel after he says that, because he thought that Daniel knew his true intentions.
Your intuition is remarkable.
I'm not sure I'm following.
It doesn't matter. It's just a myth after all.
When you come back to the chancel after collecting the ore pieces, 3 grunts will ambush you when you open the door. It is impossible to avoid death in this area, because even if you get away from them, you will die anyway because it is scripted. Alexander speaks to you one final time, taunting you about Daniel's past decisions and will grant you a chance to surrender.
You had me worried. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to do with you. I hold no grudge against you, Daniel. We are so very much the same, you and I. Did you really drink from the amnesia mixture? It does explain so much of your behavior. You never did finish what you set out to do. You talked about redemption, how you would face the orb's shadow and save our work, and me. I will grant you another chance to redeem yourself. You can wait here and stop the shadow. Thank you, friend.
There are two ways of getting out of here alive and one way of dying here, but we'll get to that later on. You can break off either of these bars, stick them to the wall, and pull the support beam down and destroy the wall, or use a hammer and chipper. Or you can break the top bar off and crawl through the gap, resulting in the wall collapsing anyway because of the incoming threats of the shadow. Going to the cell to the left, you can see the last note in the game that reveals the location of the key to get out of here and the prisoner's experience here. Looking at the cell next to it, you can see a cave and destroy most of the cell, and when you step inside, the screen blacks out and you can visualize that a brute broke down the gate and killed the man for an unknown reason. There are two ways of getting the key out of the pipe. You can use the metal rod and push the key out, or wash the key out with a water-filled bucket. Now the final chase begins. When you begin to go down the crumbling tunnels, the shadow pursues you faster than ever and destroys everything in its path. In one of the cave tunnels, doesn't matter which one, if you look up, you can see that you are directly underneath the cistern. The flooded part of the tunnel filled with blood may contain the water from the cistern from when the floor collapsed. When you get up the stairs, the shadow stops, but the torches go out. The secret ending is in fact in this very cell. If you follow Alexander's instructions and...
You can wait here and stop the shadow.
The whole shadow consumption scene lasts 10 minutes before the secret bad ending shows up.
Please, let me go. I'll never tell you.
Thank you, my friend. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. You will be celebrated forever.
Now this is the final time you enter the chancel. Upon entering, you can see that the entire area is consumed by a shadow and is extremely close to a full collapse. As mentioned before, the bridge to the artifact room has collapsed and is no longer accessible. If you die by the boots or falling off the bridge, a grunt will spawn in the area and you will spawn in the machine room that is now accessible. Now at this point, when you read the diary page, Daniel begins to feel guilty and broken about all the things he has done. He realizes that now after he killed the girl, he knows that she didn't deserve to die.
August, 1839. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down, and what is her life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent, but to kill an innocent to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
You can see that the machine room is now accessible, and that's because the shadow broke through. In looking around the room, you can see that the machine is struggling to survive. When you throw a large rock into the gears, the machine stops instantly and you get hurt by a flying piece of metal or rock. This stops the gates and intercepts them from turning. You can see now that since the gates stopped turning, there's still lightning running through it. Now here's where the fun begins. You assemble Agrippa's orb, and the orb consumes and absorbs lightning and disappears. You can now enter the sanctum, but the shadow will still force you to go forward. This is Trollforce, and I'll see all you people in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah, I got a big surprise for you all you fans soon.